Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ansel Ortile, and the report for today is all about Margaret Newman and her theory about health is the expansion of consciousness. Background of the theorist. She was born on October 10, 1933, and took her bachelor's degree at University of Tennessee in 1962, master's degree at University of California in 1964, doctorate at New York University in 1971. She has worked in University of Tennessee, New York University, Pennsylvania State University, and University of Minnesota. The theory of health as expanding consciousness stems from Rogers' theory of unitary human beings. The theory of health as expanding consciousness was stimulated by concern for those whom health as the absence of disease or disability is not possible. The theory has progressed to include the health of all persons regardless of the presence or absence of disease, according to Newman 2010. The theory asserts that every person, in every situation, no matter how disordered and hopeless it may seem, is part of the universal process of expanding consciousness, a process of becoming more of oneself, of finding greater meaning in life, and of reaching new dimensions of connectedness with other people and the world. Theory development. She was influenced by the following theorists. Martha Rogers' theory of unitary human beings was the main basis of the development of her theory, health as expanding consciousness. Since both theorists share a holistic perspective on health, Rogers' theory states that individuals are inseparable from their environment. Newman extended this idea, asserting that health is a continuous process of pattern manifestations. Second is Itzhak Bentov, the concept of evolution of consciousness. He discussed how the human experience goes beyond physical body and that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of the universe. Third is Arthur Young, the theory of process. In his theory of process, he seeks to understand the structure and dynamics of reality and the nature of the existence. Fourth is David Bohm, the theory of implicate. David Bohm and Newman's theory shared emphasis on consciousness and interconnectedness, aligns with the broader philosophical discussions about the nature of reality and health. Assumptions. Number 1. Health encompasses conditions heretofore described as illness or in medical term pathology. This means that health is not solely determined by the absence of disease but also includes the overall well-being of the individual. Pathology in medical terms refers to the abnormal or diseased conditions in the body. Number 2. These pathological conditions can be considered a manifestation of the total pattern of the individual. This means when considering the total pattern of the individual, it involves looking beyond the specific disease or symptoms and taking into account the person's overall physical, mental, and emotional social well-being. Number 3. The pattern of the individual that eventually manifests itself as pathology is primary and exists prior to structural or functional changes. According to this viewpoint, the pattern of individual can influence the body's susceptibility to developing pathological conditions, for example, genetic factors or lifestyle choice, such as smoking or poor nutrition can increase the risk of developing specific disease or conditions. Number 4. Removal of the pathology in itself will not change the pattern of the individual. This means simply removing or treating the pathological conditions or disease in an individual will not necessarily lead to a change in their overall pattern. While addressing and eliminating the pathology is important for restoring health, it does not automatically alter the underlying factors that contributed to the development of the condition. Number 5. If becoming ill is the only way an individual's pattern can manifest itself, then that is health for that person. Number 6. Health is an expansion of consciousness. This emphasizes the importance of considering the broader aspects of well-being beyond physical health. It encourages individuals to explore and develop their consciousness, leading to a more comprehensive and fulfilling state of health. And that's it for my report. Thank you for listening.
Good day, everyone. I am Jasper Lapides, and this is the part of my report. Description of the theory. The theory of health as expanding consciousness was stimulated by concern for those whom health, as the absence of disease or disability, is not possible. Nurses often relate to such people, people facing the uncertainty, the limitation, loss, and eventual death associated with chronic illness. The theory has progressed to include the health of all persons, regardless of the presence or absence of disease. The theory asserts that every person in every situation, no matter how disordered and hopeless it may seem, is part of the universal process of expanding consciousness, a process of becoming more oneself, of finding greater meaning in life, and reaching new dimensions of connectedness with other people and the world. Newman 2010. So, this statement means that Human's theory wants to emphasize inclusivity beyond the presence of disease. She wants every patient to be heard, to be known, and to address their needs holistically, no matter how disordered the patient is. It is important for her to make them fully connected with other people and for them to understand that no matter how hopeless they may seem, they still serve their greatest purpose. Humans are open to the whole energy system of the universe and constantly interacting with the energy. With this process of interaction, humans are evolving their individual pattern of whole. According to Newman, understanding the pattern is essential. The expanding consciousness is pattern recognition. The manifestation of disease depends on the pattern of individual, so the pathology of the diseases exists before the symptoms appear. So removal of disease symptoms does not change the individual structure. Newman also redefines nursing according to her that nursing is the process of recognition the individual in relation to environment, and it is the process of understanding of consciousness. So in the first statement, this means that humans are active patients. The environment plays a vital role in the patient's well-being. And also, in the statement that the manifestation of disease depends on the pattern of individual. So this means that the way a disease shows up depends on a person's unique characteristics. The actual problem exists in the body even before the symptoms show up. Just treating the symptoms doesn't change the underlying issue in the person's body. The nurse helps to understand people to use the power within to develop the higher level of consciousness. Thus, it helps to realize the disease process, its recovery, and prevention. Newman also explains the interrelatedness of time, space, and movement. Time and space are temporal pattern of the individual. Both have complementary relationship. Humans are constantly changing through time and space, and it shows unique pattern of reality. In simple terms, a nurse assists people in tapping into their inner strength to elevate their awareness. This is to understanding aids in recognizing and preventing illness. Newman also highlights the connection between time, space, and movement in expanding these concepts. So there are three major concepts and definitions based on Newman's theory: the health, the pattern, and consciousness. Major concept and definitions. Health. Health and illness are simply manifestations of the rhythmic fluctuations of the life process and the foundation for viewing health and illness as a unitary process, moving through variations in order, disorder. From this standpoint, one can no longer think of health and illness in the dichotomous way, characterized by medical science, that is, health as absence of disease, or health as a continuum from wellness to illness. Health and the evolving pattern of consciousness are the same. This means that Newman perceived health as the natural occurrence of being well and ill. There are times that you could get sick, but also you will eventually heal because it is what our nature does. Next is pattern. A person is identified by his pattern, which reflects the pattern of the person within the larger pattern of the environment. The pattern is evolving through various permutations of order and disorder, including what in everyday language is called health and disease. Pattern recognition emerges from a process of uncovering meaning in a person's life. Meaning is inherent in pattern and vice versa. So pattern means what do you do and what your environment has is reflecting towards your health. Next is consciousness. Consciousness defined as the informational capacity of the system or the human being. That is the ability of the system to interact with the environment. Consciousness includes not only the cognitive and affectiveness awareness normally associated with consciousness, which includes physiochemical maintenance and growth process as well as the immune system. This pattern of information, which is the consciousness of the system, is part of a larger undivided pattern of an expanding universe. Consciousness is the ability to interact with the environment. This includes connecting with other people and utilizing the environment. So there are three correlates of consciousness that is based on the Newman theory. Those are the movement, time, and space. So movement refers to the changes and shifts that occur within a person's life. This means your current life situation. And the time. Time involves the awareness of past, present, and future experience in a person's life. This is the ability to distinguish past from present and future. Space. Space is about the physical and emotional environment in which an individual exists. This is the environment where a person is currently on. Nursing paradigms based on Newman's theory. Health. Health and illness are synthesized as health, the fusion on one state of being, disease, with its opposite, non-disease, results in what can be regarded as health. Nursing. Nursing is caring in the human health experience. Nursing is seen as partnership between the nurse and client, with grow in the sense of higher levels of consciousness. Human. The human is unitary, that is cannot be divided into parts, and is inseparable from the larger unitary field. Person as individuals and human being as a species are identified by their pattern in consciousness. The person does not possess consciousness to the person is consciousness. Persons are centers of consciousness within an overall pattern of expanding consciousness. Environment. Environment is described as a universe of open systems. So there are the strengths and weaknesses of Newman's theory. The strengths are can be applied in any setting, also can generate scary interventions. But the weaknesses are it is abstract, it is multidimensional, it is qualitative, and little discussion on the environment. So in a conclusion, Newman's theory can be conceptualized as a grand theory of nursing. And also, humans cannot be divided into parts. So health is central to the theory as seen and is seen as a process of developing awareness of self and the environment. Consciousness is a manifestation of an evolving pattern of person-environment interaction. So that's all my report. Thanks for listening.